Well, hello everyone and welcome to Openshop. My name's Carla and boy, oh boy, do I have a treat for you today. We are launching Evolis. Now, if you want longer hair, if you want a hair product that's actually going to deliver scientific results, we are featuring a range today that has been developed by scientists, that has been developed for people who want to prevent hair loss, designed for people who want to reverse hair loss, people who want to promote faster growing hair, thicker hair, longer hair. And if you're saying, I didn't know that was possible, Carla, well, it is now, because this product has been developed by bioscientists to actually block the protein that makes our hair fall out. We all have it, we have it in different degrees, but we can actually control how that works with our hair now. And it's all done so easily, so effectively, and so affordably. And today I'm joined in the studio by the CEO of Evolis, Maria Halas. Welcome so much to the show.
Carla, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's going to be a massive show. We've got so much information to get through. But I want to start off with asking Maria, because Maria is the CEO. She is a biotech scientist herself. You started using this product yourself, and that's what made you buy into the company, become the CEO. Tell me about your story.
Well, Carla, like many women, I suffered from thinning, aging hair, and I was really bothered by it. In fact, it really affected my self-esteem. So I went to the doctor, but of course, physically, there was nothing wrong with me. So I actually have given up.
Right.
And I was running a biotechnology company at the time, and we were looking for new products, and I found this product, started using it, and it worked for me. So we went back and bought the company.
Well, that's so, you know, it is the ultimate compliment to a product when you want to actually be part of the business. Now, the before and afters and the reviews are phenomenal. In fact, last year, Men's Health in the USA voted it one of the #1 best products for men to reverse hair loss. So whether you are already losing your hair, you are already experiencing hair fall, maybe it's your husband or your son or your brother, you're going to want to pick up on the reverse. If you want longer, thicker, luscious hair, and you're not having hair fall, but you just want to be able to grow your hair longer, we're going to explain why your hair is not growing longer and give you a product called Promote that is going to enable you to be able to grow that hair as long as you want. And I've started using this. Now, on top of this, the good news is it's been formulated without parabens, without sulfates, without silicons, without added extra nasties, 100% cruelty-free. And the key here is a shampoo and conditioner, but most importantly, the elixir. Now, I want to get into the offer because it is hot. We have the best deal available on the market. This is just launched into Australia. I'm going to give you the details of each one of these kits. We're going to start off with Reverse. It's a 3-step system. You're going to get a bonus activator. So see that guy there? You're going to get two of those. That is worth $69. That is yours included in the price for $125. Now, Maria, we have a checklist for every single one of these kits. Who is buying the Reverse kit?
Carla, Reverse is for someone who's already experiencing thinning, aging hair, who is really worried about their hair volume, and they want this instant gratification because this product has keratin and wheat protein in it. And what happens is that gives you an instant volume.
Okay, so on top of that amazing FGF5 protein blocker, you get all of these other added ingredients. So this is for the guys who are already losing hair, receding hairline. For the ladies who have thinning hair, you're getting patchy, it's more sparse. You know you're losing hair, you're going to pick up on the Reverse. Now, you may work your way from Reverse back to Promote over time. Okay, so this is the good news. This is a process and it's fantastic. Reverse is where you're going to start, where you already are losing your hair. Now, the next pack I want to share with you is Prevent. Now, this is for those of you who are probably, you know that you're susceptible, okay? It's in your family, you're going to go with the Prevent. Again, you're getting your 3-step process. You've got the activator, 2 of them, down from $190 to $125. Don't forget free express delivery from Openshop, as well as a full money back guarantee. You're going to be able to try this and see how it works on your hair. Maria, who is buying the Prevent today?
Prevent is for someone who's worried about future hair loss, really. It's for someone who's got really fine hair, or who's got perhaps familiar hair loss. This is a product also for young men with scalp issues, because we formulated mangosteen into this product. Mangosteen is very high in antioxidants, vitamin C, and as a result, it calms down inflammation of the scalp.
Right, okay, so remember, we're working with the scalp and the hair growth. Okay, this is not about doing anything with the hair that's already grown. We're protecting that with the shampoo and conditioner. We're making sure that we're not adding extra sulfates and silicons and extra harmful chemicals to the ends of our hair that is already there. Okay, that is what the shampoo and conditioner is there for, to nourish that. But the activator, that elixir, that serum for your scalp, that is going to go in twice a day, and it's going to work with the actual growth of the hair. Now, the last one, this is the pack that I'm on, Gabs is on it, Sari's on it, we're all on it. It's the Promote, and that is going to again give you the shampoo and conditioner. We're going to talk about the ingredients in each one of these because they're different, but they all have that blocking agent in there, all of them, okay? So $125 down to $190. Who's picking up on the Promote today, Maria?
Carla, Promote is for someone who's got longer hair or maybe wants to have long hair, because we've got baobab formulated into this product. Now, baobab is nature's moisture miracle. Everywhere we put it, it just rejuvenates that tissue, and that includes your hair as well. So you will end up having much nicer, softer, nourished hair.
Beautiful. And we can finally grow it longer. And I want to start and get into the reason why we lose our hair and why we can't grow our hair longer than a certain point. I know for me, I know pretty much where I can get my hair to, and then it just starts looking too thin and scraggly. So Maria, from a scientific point of view, what is happening to our hair as we age?
So aging hair is natural. We know that our bones age, our bodies generally age, our teeth age, and unfortunately our hair follicles age too. I know we don't want to accept it, but it does happen. So the process is actually called miniaturization. And what happens is that each hair follicle would have a certain number of cycles, hair cycles, growth cycles in it, and that when it runs out of those cycles, it becomes very fine and it stops growing. So that's a very natural process. Everybody actually goes through that process, but some people start with much less hair. I was one of those people. I started with much finer hair originally, so I started to feel the effect of aging, hair aging much earlier on.
Okay, and that is via thinning, patchy, limp hair, because literally if you look under a microscope at your scalp, which we will in a moment, you're going to get to see my scalp, is that each little follicle has multiple hairs growing out of it. And if we are suffering from hair loss, we can lose that amount. The amount of hairs growing from each follicle becomes less, and some follicles actually don't have any hair growing out of them. Why is that? What's happening? Well,
it's a very natural process, Carla. Everybody goes through that. And when we're young, all our hair follicles really produce multiple hairs. So in our pores, we see multiple hairs coming out. And as we age, we see less and less. And from 4 hairs coming out of each pore, maybe you only see 3 or 2 or 1. And the result is the thinning of the hair.
So what is the F5 protein blocker that has been developed? This is the key here with Evolis, and you're seeing the before and afters right now. These are amazing. I mean, the hair growth, the reverse has shown hair coming back. I mean, this is, once a hair's completely gone, we can't bring it back, but we can stop it from falling out, right? So this is where we want to catch it early. Is that right?
Indeed. I mean, we really can just slow down this process. The aging process goes on. As we know from moisturizers and, exercise, we can slow down the process. We cannot really stop it. So that's a very natural process.
And what's the protein, the FGF5 protein blocker? So how is that working?
So firstly, all our products are natural products. The active ingredients are plant extracts. So that's very important because we just want to make sure that people understand it's really safe product.
Yes.
FGF5 is a protein that we all have. FGF5 is the key regulator of the hair cycle. But the more FGF5 we have, the more hair loss we have.
Right.
So over time, as we age, we tend to have more FGF5. Maybe we take medication, maybe we're exposed to pollution. There's many, many reasons. Hormones, of course, are a key reason for that. And so FGF5 accumulates and it triggers your hair to go from growth to rest and then fall out. And that's the process that we're trying to halt, we're trying to stop with our products.
So you're blocking that?
Yes, that's the process. The process is to block FGF5 so that when we actually grow our hair, it can grow longer. More hair grows at any one time.
This is so good. This is about scalp health, hair health, I mean, one of the big things that I picked up from Maria, and we went to her studio and you're about to see my scalp analysis, is that one of the most important things to stop hair loss and hair fall is stop using harsh chemicals on your hair. It's really, really important. That's why the shampoo and conditioner and the elixir are part of a system. Now, I know that you can't at home have a consult, so guess what? We're going to take you there and we're going to do a virtual consult by going through the checklist with you so you know which one you're going to fall into. But this is what happens in a normal hair consult. I had mine done at the Evolis studio. Let's have a look.
Carla, it's wonderful to have you at Evolis. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. What are we going to do today?
Well, today we're going to talk about how our hair ages. Now, we all accept that our bodies age, our bones, our teeth.
Well, I don't really accept it, but...
Well, you know, we have to face the fact.
True.
Now, what you may not know that your hair follicles also age. I don't know whether you've heard about that at all.
I did not know that.
Well, today that's what we're going to look at.
Okay.
Actually, when your hair follicles age, what happens is that from this fully formed, beautiful, big, thick hair, your hair follicles start producing less and less hair.
I can't believe there's more than one hair follicle in one pore. I didn't know that.
And the youthful hair, your youthful scalp actually has pores in them that has multiple hairs growing out. But as you get older, each pore will only have maybe 1 or 2 hairs, and eventually you have pores that might not produce any hair.
So we're going to find out today how many hairs my pores have?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Essentially, how old is your hair?
Let's do it.
Great. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a little tool called the Evolis scope. And the Evolis scope is simply a lit up microscope. And I'm going to look at your hair follicles. Now, can I touch your hair?
Absolutely.
Let me come closer.
Okay.
And while I'm touching your hair, you have to look at the screen. Don't worry about anything else. Now, let's start at the base. Now, if you could just bend a tiny bit, but keep your eyes on the screen.
Okay.
And this is important because that's the area that doesn't age much at all. And the reason for that is because this area is not sensitive to hormones. So as you age, your hormone levels change. This area is going to be producing the same kind of hair. So what you can see,
So this is what you do as part of your consult. You show people their scalp and the pores and the hair follicles.
Exactly. So you can see what your hair follicles look like. You can see that you've got pores that are producing more than 1 hair. It's looking really nice. Firstly, your scalp looks beautiful and clean.
Well, thank you.
So well done on that, Carla. Then you can see that each hair follicle, each pore produces more than 1 hair follicle.
Yes, I can see that quite a lot of them have 3 or can there be more than 3?
Well, there's 3, 4 sometimes, absolutely.
Wow.
But some of them, as you can see already, are only producing 1 or 2. So even though this is the area that is most resistant to hormones or aging, you can already see that there are some that are only producing 1 or 2. But this is still great. All right? No worries about that.
It's not very blonde at the roots there, is it?
Well, that's a completely different problem. Let's go to the top and let's see the scalp here. As you can see, the hair follicles are wider apart on the top. You can see that they're still very healthy. But what I would like to show you, and I can see one right there, on the corner, on the left-hand corner, you can see that there's a very fine hair.
Yes.
And then growing out very fine next to a stronger one. So what you can see is that hair, the finer hair, is going through a process of miniaturization already. And in fact, this is a very important point, because why we're looking at your hair today is we really want to know, can we do anything for your hair to stop that aging process?
Absolutely.
And extend that growth phase from 2 years to 3 or 4 or 5.
We can do that.
Well, whatever genetically determined, we can do. Yes. Obviously, we can't modify your genes, but we can definitely help to maximize your potential.
Okay, so what would be the best way for me to be able to use this product? Because I know that we've got shampoo, conditioner and the serum as well. What's the best way to use it to get the best results?
So we've got shampoos and conditioners, and I would recommend that you use the Promote shampoo and conditioner and the Promote activator. So you would have a full collection of Promote, Evolis Promote, and that over the next 2, 3, 4 months, if you continue to use it twice a day, morning and evening, then I believe that you'd have strong benefits. You know, for you, you've got beautiful hair. You're definitely not suffering from thinning or any of that. You know, you're just naturally aging, and we just really want to attend to that process. Your hair is also in good condition, but really could help a bit more moisture, so this is why we're offering Promote.
Isn't that just so amazing? Don't you feel like you know me so much more now that you've seen my scalp close up? You now know that I'm not a natural blonde. How bad is that? Now, I want to show you something as well, because something that I guess most of us think is, okay, I love that idea. I love the thought that I can grow my hair longer, faster, healthier. But what's in it? How much do I have to do it? And is it going to make my hair oily and so on? Is it going to be time consuming? Not at all. I've been using this now for a couple of weeks. There's a little pipette here. This is how much you're going to use once in the morning, once at night. It's already dosed, and all you're going to do is go into the scalp, plop, 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 plop. It's not oily. You can style your hair, and you just empty it out everywhere we think, and then just kind of give it a little rub. It doesn't make your hair oily. Trust me, I've come into work every day and still had my hair styled, and it's been on my scalp. So it's absolutely really great to be able to do that every day, and maybe just keep one beside the bed so you do it just before you go to sleep. Maria, what are your tips for using the activator? Because this is crucial. This is the main part, right?
That's the most important product, really, that you have to use if you want optimum scalp health, optimum health of your hair follicles. I tell everyone, and that's what I do, to use it when you brush your teeth.
Right.
And most people do brush their teeth at least
trigger.
twice. Yes, so I put it next to the toothbrush, and then it literally takes 5 seconds. Just pop it on the scalp, nice and light. And actually, you don't have to rub it in, just spread it out, because it has a little bit of alcohol next to the natural extracts. It spreads really well, and that's it. And as you said, it doesn't affect styling. You can go straight to work. You can do whatever you need to do.
Now, we talked about the reverse. So remember who you are if you are buying the reverse today or buying it for somebody who is already losing their hair. These are the clinicals. Are you ready to have your mind blown, everybody? Okay, this is a game changer, this product. 95% of participants noticed an increase in their hair thickness within 90 days. Now, I want you to give this 90 days, okay? You might start seeing it gradually come up, but give it the 90 days. 97% of users saw less hair on their brush or left in the shower after 120 days. So, you know, fast forward, think back, what were you doing 90 days ago? Time is going so quickly right now, okay? So you will be amazed in 90 days the results that you are going to get. So I'm going to go through which packs for who right now. We're going to start with reverse. Here it is on your screen right now. The reverse is for those of you who are already seeing your hair thin, fall, loss, right? You are in extreme stages of mostly thin hairs. Remember what you saw on my scalp? Most of them would only have 1 or 2 or hairs left in them, right?
That's right.
So you know who you are. You could be between 30, 50, 50 plus. You have a scaly scalp. You have an unhealthy, maybe you have an itchy scalp, dry and damaged hair, and maybe you could have short to long hair, but you know who you are, right? You are already seeing the loss. What about for those of you who are not really seeing the loss yet, but you know that it's probably on its way. Maybe it's hereditary. Maybe you know you're starting to see a little bit of a receding hairline. You're going to go for the prevent. Okay, now that is on your screen right now. Let me show you the checklist. Okay, so this is your own home diagnosis that we're doing. Obviously, we can't bring Maria into your home right now to do the scalp analysis. However, this is what you guys give people, right? You give them this checklist and we tick it. Early stages of thinning, yes. Intermediate stages of thinning, yes. Irritated scalp. Oily or normal scalp you could have, flat or needs volume, and you've probably more likely got short hair. So that is your prevent checklist. If you are somebody who just wants thicker, fuller, longer hair, you want to grow it longer, promote is your choice. That is what I'm using. And this is really not only about promoting, but it's also helping to prevent hair loss because you're getting a healthy scalp. You've got that protein inhibitor that's working, as well as all the added ingredients that we're going to go through in a moment with Maria, what's in the shampoo and conditioner and in the elixir. So there is your promote, and this is your checklist. $31.25 on Afterpay. Healthy hair. You've got healthy hair. You just wish you could grow more of it. I just want to grow it longer. I want to have it thicker. Maybe you are starting to see early stages of thinning. Maybe you are pulling out lots of hair from your hairbrush and out of the sink. Maybe you've got dry, damaged hair, and maybe it's the ends of your hair. That's where the shampoo and conditioner are really going to help because they are sulfate-free, silicone-free, paraben-free. Unruly curls or texture issues, and you could have shorter or long hair. That is who's going to pick up on the promote. Now remember, we ship free delivery. We have a full money back guarantee. If this is your first purchase, 10% off for your first purchase. Brand new to us here in Australia. This has been huge over in America and the UK. We have this deal exclusively for you with a free elixir. You not only get one activator, you get two. So that's going to last you 3 months, maybe even longer, depending on how much you use, using it twice a day and then using the shampoo and conditioner that comes with. This is the biggest seller, the reverse. I want to talk a little bit about this, 300962. Let's dive deep into what we're getting in the reverse, because when we get to a point, particularly as women and men, look, let's face it, it's a confidence inhibitor. When we start losing our hair and we can't control it, it can be incredibly distressing.
Exactly. I mean, I went through it personally myself, and I have to say that this has been a journey for me, and some of it wasn't very pleasant. And when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and you see through your scalp, and you spend 15 minutes just trying to adjust your hair so you can't see your scalp, it's very distressing.
Yes. So if you think about this is not just a product that's going to give you fuller hair, because a lot of brands, and can I just point out that a lot of brands will say thicker, fuller hair, but they're just coating the hair shaft. What we're talking about is science working with the scalp. Have a look at these before and afters. Maria, these are all done clinically, right?
So this is from our consumer experience study, and what we've done here is these participants came to us with various hair concerns, and we put them on the reverse range for a period of 4 months, 120 days. So you see day 1 and 120 days results. And some of these people actually said, no, we're not worried at all about hair loss. They weren't aware of it. They just came in and participated in our study.
Right.
But literally 97% of them reported less hair loss, less hair in a brush, less hair on a pillow, less hair in a shower. And the results from reverse are twofold. One is, of course, it looks after your hair roots with the FGF5 inhibitor plant extracts in it. But the added value to that as well is that it has hydrolyzed keratin and meat protein in it. And what happens with that is you get an instant gratification because it gives you instant volume.
Right.
So you mentioned that a lot of the products look after the hair that is already grown out. I mean, we're a product that looks after you root to tip,
yes,
essentially.
Root to tip, and it's really important. And that's why it's a 3-step process, right, Maria? Is that you can do all this wonderful work on your scalp and have all this beautiful hair growing, but if you're using putting silicons and sulfates and harsh chemicals on the ends, it's just going to dry and break. So it's really important that you use the shampoo and the conditioner as well, or at least a natural shampoo and conditioner, right, that doesn't have all those nasties in there that are going to undo all the good work that's happening down at the roots, at the scalp, which is really what Evolis is all about. It's taking that scalp and working with natural ingredients. So remind us again about that protein inhibitor. This is what's happening.
So look, it's a very important point that we use natural actives, and we are the only company in the world that has an assay, a cell-based assay that is in a petri dish actually outside of the body, and we can show you every material that inhibits this protein, and we've been able to select 3 of those and formulate it into the products. Why this is important is because we've been able to show in these experiments that those 3 actives inhibit FGF5. So these are very, very important points. But of course, it's also very important that we have wheat protein and keratin in these products. As I mentioned, root to tip care for your hair.
It's a process, everyone, but it's a really simple. Look, you have to wash your hair, right? You have to brush your teeth. Why not do it with a product that is going to help your hair aging? And for women who are going through hormonal changes, you know this is really resounding with you right now. And we have a beautiful interview with Dr. Dominic Berg. Now, he works with you guys at Evolis. He's one of the head scientists, and he shared with us his insights about hormones and aging hair.
So I'm Dr. Dominic Berg, and I'm the Chief Scientist here at Evolis Professional. Women particularly are vulnerable to a number of different things in their lives that can affect their hair. Things like hormonal changes. So when a woman becomes pregnant, her hair will be beautiful. It'll be growing really fast, it'll be lustrous. But when they have the baby, the hormones crash, and that leads to a significant change in their hair, including hair fall, hair loss, and a reduction in growth rate. Other things that can happen in a woman's life are stress. Stress is a really profound influence on hair cycle. Things like changes in diet can profoundly affect hair as well, and a lot of women go through yo-yo dieting, and this stops hair growing. The body will shuttle nutrients away from the hair and to other organs, so the hair will suffer while the body looks after itself. Some other things that happen with the hair in women are going through menopause, and again that's a hormonally driven thing. When the hormones drop during menopause, testosterone takes over and the hair suffers as a result. Age really does determine the way that your hair grows, and age is a big factor in your hair all the way through your life. So when you're young, your hair's at its best. When you're in your 20s, your hair's growing wonderfully. But as a woman in their 20s, they may be experiencing a lot of stress, or they may be going through diets, or they may be trying out different contraceptive pills. All of these different things can affect the way that hair grows and affect what's called the hair growth cycle. When the hair growth cycle changes, the hair changes. Moving from the 20s to the 30s is generally when most women have a baby, and having a baby has an enormous effect on the hair. When the hormones crash after giving birth, this changes the way that the hair naturally cycles, and this will result in a big hair fall in a lot of women. They won't be able to grow their hair long anymore, and they'll notice lots and lots of big clumps of hair falling out, particularly about 3 months after they've had the baby. This is what's called as postpartum hair loss, and it happens to about 60% of women that have a baby. After the 30s comes the 40s and the 50s, generally the most busy time in a woman's life. Stresses are very high, they're looking after their family, they're juggling a career, and they may be going through things like divorces. All these things can interrupt the way hair grows, particularly because of specific hormones in the body, such as stress hormones and metabolic hormones, such as thyroid hormone. And then we move on to the late 50s and 60s. Generally that's when menopause occurs. So when menopause happens, the estrogens and the progesterones drop, and testosterone actually starts to take over in women. And testosterone is a really powerful molecule in hair. It helps hair grow, it makes hair grow really fast, but in some women they're very, very susceptible to it, and it can have the opposite effect. Just like it happens in men, testosterone affects some men's hair, it can do the same in women, but this really only happens when they hit menopause and their other hormones drop and testosterone takes over.
Well, what an incredible man. I could just listen to him all day. And this is what we love at Openshop here, is to be able to bring you so much knowledge, so much experience from people like Maria, like Dominic, that live and breathe this industry every single day, and bring you hope. And I hope that's what's something that you've been, maybe you've been looking at all the products and you might have given up hope, and you've just thought, you know what, I'm aging, my hair's falling out. hands up, there's nothing I can do. Well, there is something you can do. Evolis is here, finally here in Australia. We are launching it here at Openshop with an incredible deal. You are getting an extra activator. We have 3 different packs for you today. We've talked about reverse. That is for those of you who already have hair fall, okay? That's for those of you who know you've got thinning hair. You've seen the hair in the hairbrush. You can see the scalp vividly when you're trying to style your hair. Maybe you're a guy and you've got the receding hairline and the crown thinning as well. That is for you. You're going to pick up on the reverse today. We're going to touch now a little bit on the prevent. Now, the prevent is primarily for those of you who know that you're potentially going to lose your hair. Maybe you're a young guy, maybe it's hereditary, let's have a look at the checklist. This is those of you who are going to buy the prevent today. Early stages, Maria, so you're starting to see it. Maybe sometimes it's photographs, I find, that you see.
Indeed. You look at yourself on a photo from yesterday and then you look back 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 3 years ago, and you say, wow, what happened?
Because you see yourself every day, and so you don't necessarily gauge a slow process. What you will notice is that all of a sudden, gosh, I looked at that photo and I'm starting to lose my hair. Get onto it sooner, because something we touched on, we'll talk about it a little bit later, is that once the hair is completely gone and there's no hair growing out of those follicles, there's nothing you can do, right, apart from surgery.
Indeed, and once a hair follicle actually no longer produces a hair, there's very little we can do with that. But the prevent range is actually for those particularly young guys who are just experiencing the beginnings of concern about their hair loss, their hairline, and they really want to also healthy scalp.
Right.
Because prevent has mangosteen in it, and mangosteen has lots of anti-inflammatories, vitamin C in it, and it really tones down the inflammation of the scalp. If you've got flaky scalp, even if you've got oily scalp, but if you feel like it's a little bit inflamed, this is the product for you. And a lot of young men, all respect to those who don't, but don't look after their hair and their scalp, and they end up with dry scalp. And this is definitely for that group of people.
I'm thinking that regardless whether young man, female, nursing mum, you've got to think of Evolis as the skincare for your hair and your scalp. This is not really so much of a band-aid issue, it's just to get the best hair that you can have long term. We're using serums on our skin, we're using eye creams around our eye. Why shouldn't we be using an anti-age serum on our scalp so that our hair can look young and youthful and full and lush right through to our mature years? These are some of the before and afters, and we're not just looking at young men, we're looking at women, we're looking at more mature men, we're looking at young men, we're looking at everybody, because we all have this protein. It is in our body, and what we're doing is using, and what the scientists have been doing, what Maria and her team have been able to do is harness a combination of natural ingredients that can be popped onto our scalp to slow that down. Clinically proven, widely reviewed, awarded around the world, and now available here in Australia, and not a fortune, $125 for the shampoo, the conditioner, as well as the elixir. That activator, remember, you're getting 2. Okay, I want a visual for you here. You're going to get 2 of these. How long is this going to last for, Maria?
Well, if you've got your best hair, you want your best hair for Christmas, this is the set to get, because it's going to last you for about 3 months.
One activator?
2 activators.
2 activators, 3 months. Okay.
That's the minimum, Carla. That's the minimum. Some
Okay.
people use it up to 4 months.
Okay.
Of course, depends on how well and how much you put on your head.
Yes, and remember, that's roundabout where all of those clinical studies started to see the amazing results. So please don't give up on it. Please be religious. As Maria said, let's do it when you brush your teeth. It's so quick and easy. It's not a palaver. You don't have to rewash your hair. You have to wash your hair as normal anyway. And it's a beautiful shampoo and conditioner. In fact, my daughter stole the conditioner the first time I took it home, and it smells beautiful. It's it's fine for the rest of the family to use, okay, because it's beautifully full of botanicals, but the activator, this is the key, twice a day. Now, 2 lovely ladies that have used this product, we spoke to them, and I want to share that interview with you right now.
I refuse to give up the blonde, so I've just got to find
I gave it up.
another alternative. Did you? You've gone natural. No, I'm not going to go natural.
I went natural
I'll fight to the end.
I went natural so I could go in a caravan and travel for 16 months. So there's no way I can dye my hair and do all of that. So yeah.
Well, if you've seen a woman that's bald, yeah, it's frightening. I think you'd probably, do anything to... But I think too, lifestyle and what we do, treatment, chemicals, I think it's all having an impact on it. Hair dryers.
I think with mine, definitely I feel it was a hormonal thing because the other maturity or maturing things that happened to women was happening at the same time as the hair started to go. And that's why, and I unfortunately had to have, and this is a bit sorry men, hysterectomy very young in life. So therefore I've been lacking hormones for a long time. And I do think that's got a lot to do with it. To me, it's not genetic. My father had a mop of hair when he died at 86. My mum died at 63, so I don't really know. But yeah, I just feel a lot of it's hormonal. I've always worn my hair layered, but I've had to stop doing it because there's a big bald spot here and there's another one just in here.
Yeah, the length won't cover it up.
No, so I have to make sure that it grows so that I can then do it. And thank God for this shampoo, etc., because this gives me the bulk to be able to do it.
About 5 years ago, I've noticed it's slow to start, and then in the last year, I've noticed more thinning, especially in the front part of the scalp. And I started looking for products that may help, and that's when I came across this product.
Probably over 10 years actually. It's probably even a bit longer, but mainly 10 years ago, and it was a slow process. But it started originally in the natural part line, and it just got worse from there, and now I actually have bald spots. So yes, I've been looking for products also. Been to doctors, they don't really care. They're not going bald, so they don't care. Yeah, so it's just one of those things, and this product has at least stopped the hair drop. I can actually wear black again without having white hair all over the back of me.
There you go.
Because I get the little bits, there's the little bits that were falling. But now that that's not happening, I actually wore black last weekend and I went, oh my goodness, I'm not doing that the whole time. That's amazing. So yes, so there is a big difference there in that. I don't feel that it's breaking the hair. I don't know whether it was the new growth coming through that was falling or whether it was breaking my hair. I can't quite make up my mind which one it was. So whatever has stopped anyway.
Don't leave it so long.
Yes, and find some product.
If you see that starts to thin, I would say change what you're doing. Hair stress, you know, probably less heat from hair dryers, less chemicals.
Even if it stays as it is now, I'll be happy.
Yeah. I agree.
If we achieve that, and I don't have to dye with a wig on the top of my head, that'd be wonderful.
I love those two ladies, and isn't that just so exciting that finally, you know, when did you first start noticing your hair thinning? It might have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, last week. Well, there is hope. And our gorgeous Gabs is here as well, and she's got a couple of beautiful models there to talk to.
We have got the gorgeous Sage, and of course we've got the very handsome Zach. And look, guys, I mean, you guys are going to tell us about your hair issues, but the thing that appealed to me was up to 18% faster growing hair in only 16 weeks, but within 90 days, the condition of my hair will improve, it will soften, the texture will be better, it's going to be healthier from root to tip. So for me, having hair that is sprayed and, you know, styled so often, it is very dry and very brittle. So I've been using it for a week and a half, Maria, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. But Zach, I'm going to ask you about your experience with your hair, what you've been experiencing, how you feel about your hair. And what issues have you been having? Because you're representing the young fellas, the gents, and there are going to be a lot of blokes out there that are going to relate to you and your story that you were telling me before. Please, let us know.
Sure. So, look, I guess growing up, you know, everyone develops differently, and yeah, I guess with an Italian background, I do have a bit of a receding hairline, well, that kind of design, but and as Carla was saying before, I guess when as I've grown older and wiser, I'm seeing that, yeah, there is probably a thinning of the hair, and yeah, that kind of reduces my confidence, and it's one of those things you don't want to put yourself out there, and you know, as a presenter here, it's kind of like, this is something I need to start looking at. And so recently I actually went to a clinic a few months ago and had a bit of a treatment just like Carla had with that little microscope thing, and yeah, it was something that I've been looking for alternatives, and something that's natural, something that's not toxic, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's quite toxic. So yeah, I'm open to new things, and I'm actually really curious to see and see how this works long term.
Well, Zach, how do you feel about using a product like this? Because it's a 3-step professional. So we've got the shampoo, conditioner, and then of course we've got the serum, which is the activator, and it's the secret fantastic ingredient. How do you feel about using it?
Look, the fact that there's 0 parabens and 0 all those technical terms, all those toxins, there's 0 of those toxins, for me that feels good. So I don't want to put anything that's toxic on my skin, let alone, you know, food. There's lots of toxins in our food and in our water and things like that. So if there's something that we're putting on our skin actually absorbs nutrition, but it also absorbs toxins as well. So anything that's natural, I'm going to be putting that at the top of my list. And something that's simple, like, you know, when I'm brushing my teeth, I can just go squirt, squirt, squirt. That makes so much sense for me too. So,
that is an easy process, Maria. I love that when you said pop it with your toothbrush. What would you recommend for Zach? Would you recommend the Prevent?
Yes, indeed. I mean, Zach is ideal for our Prevent range, really. He's still got plenty of hair.
Yes.
He knows that from his Italian background. He might have a little bit of hair thinning over the years, so it's a perfect product for you, Zach, actually. Awesome. And what you said about using it when you brush your teeth, it's perfect. And just make sure that when you open it, you put it on the scalp, not on the hair.
Okay.
And when you twist it back, it actually doses itself. So you don't have to dose it again. You just open it again, and there's another dose.
Fantastic system.
So for you, I would do 2.
And so where am I putting it? Am I putting it just anywhere that I feel like I want to revive the skin, or bring the hair back?
Exactly.
Okay.
So all the affected areas, I use it on my entire scalp. Because I just want to make sure, and you can do that too, because I think thinning affects all hair follicles. But if you're really concerned about your hairline and crown on the top, I would say definitely those areas.
My only question is, if I start using it, I'm going to trial this for the next 3 months. I'll do a before and after photo, and maybe when we do another show, why not test it out? But I'm curious to know, like, if I stop using it, is my hair going to then go back to normal?
Good question, Maria.
So nothing drastic is going to happen.
Okay.
What will happen over weeks and months, your hair cycle will return to its normal stages, but nothing drastic is going to happen. And it's a little bit like going to the gym. You know, if you don't go for a week, probably nothing happens, but if you don't go for 6 to 8 weeks, you start noticing the difference. So, you know, that's the same with Evolis.
That's a really good analogy. You know, the just being religious and using it every day, twice a day, the better hair you're going to have. It's like our skincare. I can't just use beautiful skincare for a few weeks and then stop, because my skin will start aging the way it's going to age normally without all those great ingredients. What about Sage? What's Sage's issues?
Sage, you were talking to me before the show about, tell us about your hair issues and what have you been experiencing?
Well, I've been noticing a bit of thinning, to be honest, this winter actually. So I don't know if it was my diet or just the lack of sun, but something was affecting a bit of hair fall, and I was noticing it in my hairbrush in the shower. And yeah, I guess I was just talking last week about what the options were to retract that.
And you sort of do worry about where do you start, and with a natural product like this, with a simple 3-step solution, so the shampoo and conditioner is as you normally would, and as Carla said before, it's, you know, it's skincare for your hair, it's natural. This is simple. You know, Sage, to be able to pop this little pipette here through your scalp and give it a little massage. And Maria, you did speak to Sage before the show as well. We were having a little discussion, and I noticed that you got your special scientific, the machine, the Evolis scope that you used on Carla, and I was so curious for you to have a look. We didn't have time for her to do an investigation on mine, but you did look at Sage. And what would you recommend for Sage? Obviously, this is the must-have ingredient. This is the, you know, activator. But which of the 3 product care would you recommend?
Well, Sage, I would recommend reverse for you. And there's two reasons for that. One is that you have a cyclical hair loss, so this will really help bringing your hair follicles back into growth. Also, you have beautiful long hair, and the fact that you lost hair affected you already. So you've got that thinning in that beautiful long hair. And you told me also earlier that you feel like your hair is not growing long anymore.
Yeah.
So this is why you need to start using reverse, and this will give you an instant volume in addition to the FGF5 inhibitors in this particular little activator, which will then look after bringing all your hair back into this growth. Nice anagen stage.
Okay. Now, Sage might go back from reverse to promote. Do you find a lot of people do that? They kind of do the reverse for 3 or 4 months, and then they find that they get a really nice amount of growth, and then they go back to promote or move to promote?
Well, it is quite possible, and I've done the same. When my hair went back into normal and I had thick hair again, although I have very fine hair, but it really grows quite well now, I went back to promote because promote is really great for longer hair. We've got baobab in promote, and that gives a beautiful conditioning for the hair. So I would say that 3, 4, 5 months, once you start experiencing the benefits, you can easily go back to the promote range, which is really for long hair. And that is the range that I would recommend to Gabby as well, of course. Is that what you're using?
That's what I've been using.
Fantastic.
And I found it
Fantastic.
But look, I do have to ask you a couple of professional questions in a moment, but do you feel that that's something that you could do? I mean, something that would give you hope and something that will, minimise your stress about your hair loss? Because I imagine that once you start getting stressed and quite emotional about it, it's a little bit of an ongoing daily issue.
Absolutely, it becomes a bit distracting, and you sort of start thinking about your hair loss instead of thinking about other things that could be more beneficial. So yeah, I'd love to see some sort of treatment that's available.
Well, here we have it, and Maria has given you the solution, and we're going to do that. Maria, would Sage use extra of this because she has long hair, or is it the same dosage?
So the activator you put on your scalp. So everybody should be using around the same. Depends on what are the affected areas. And in Sage's case, I would put it on the entire scalp because she's got diffuse hair loss. So, she will need to nourish all those hair follicles on the entire scalp.
Great, fantastic.
Well, you know what, I feel like I think we can all relate to the lack of confidence that we can experience when we do have hair loss, whether it's minimal or severe, and it can be quite meaningful, and it can be a bit of a vicious cycle because we're freaking out and stressing out about our hair loss, and that stress is creating more hair loss. Okay, so it's a little bit of a cycle, but I want to share with you a little bit more information from Dr. Dom about stress and confidence when it comes to our hair.
The main thing that people really feel about their hair when they're starting to have trouble is embarrassment. They feel very preoccupied. They think about their hair more than they should. They think about what other people are thinking about their hair, so they're embarrassed. Other things that people come talk to me about is that they just have a lot of trouble managing their hair. It's not growing like it used to. They're seeing their scalp when they're looking at themselves in a mirror with light shining on them, and it really does play on their minds quite significantly. The funniest thing, and you wouldn't normally think of it, is that people are happy that they don't have to think about their hair anymore, that they're not worried, that they're not worried about people looking at them, and their self-confidence is back. I think one of the greatest things that we do is we look after people who've gone through chemo and things like that. So bringing back confidence to those people so that they don't feel sick anymore, that they're not having other people looking at them like they're sick, and bringing back that confidence so they don't have to worry about their hair is one of the most amazing things about working for Evolis.
Well, I think that confidence is absolutely priceless. And so when you're starting to look at your hair today and you're saying, Carla, I have been losing my hair, I've got severe hair loss, or even just starting to see it, what a small price to pay to restore that confidence. I have 3 different packs for you. I want to remind you on all 3 of them and who you will be. Have you got a pen and paper? Because I want you to do the checklist at home. This is our first kit right here. This is the reverse. This is for those of you who are already experiencing thinning hair. You're seeing the hair in the hairbrush, in the sink. It's extreme, stage, okay? So what Sage has been feeling, you know you're losing your hair. You're waking up and seeing hair on the pillow perhaps even. Maybe your scalp is really itchy and irritated. Maybe you've got dry and damaged hair. This is you. You want the opposite of what's happening with your hair right now. You want to reverse what is happening with your hair right now. That is it there. $125, you're going to get a free activator. That's worth $69. It's an exclusive deal for us, $300,962. Then we have Prevent. Zach is the poster boy for Prevent. You know that you're possibly going to start losing your hair. Maybe you're already starting to see a receding hairline. Prevent is for you. This is where you start. Maybe you use Prevent for 3 or 4 months and then you move on to Promote. It's your shampoo and conditioner and also your activator. Early stages. You're not stressing out yet, but you are concerned about it. It's right at the beginning. You are getting irritated scalp. You probably know that your scalp isn't as healthy as it should be. Maybe you're starting to feel that your hair is looking older. Maybe you're looking at photos and thinking, oh wow, that was 5 years ago. My hair looks older, okay? We are going to buy Prevent. And then for those of you who just want to promote the hair that you have and make sure that every single one of those follicles is full of hair and full of hair for longer. So where's the checklist for the Promote? Here we are. We have healthy hair. We are maybe starting to see some hair fall. Your hair might be dry or damaged. You do a lot of styling, you do a lot of color treating, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you have curly hair or textured hair. You could have short or long hair. This is for those of you who want the best hair. You want to promote your hair. Your hair is always going to be your hair. Whether you have curly hair or thin hair or thick hair, what we're doing is growing your healthiest hair, your fullest hair. In other words, 3 or 4 strands per follicle, not 1 or 2, and maybe one that's just a little teeny baby hair and then the other one falls out and therefore your hair is looking limp and sad. We want full, luscious, long hair. So I want to come back and talk about Promote Maria, and I want us to re-hit, because we're nearly at the end of the show, I hope you're getting your kit, on the FGF5 blocking agent. This is the heart of Evolis. Tell me, what is that and what does Evolis do to slow down the hair loss?
So it's a really important point, Carla, because FGF5 is what we call the villain for your hair. It basically, the more FGF5 you have, the more hair fall you have. And what we've been able to formulate into all of our products, actually, is FGF5 inhibitor, natural plant extracts. And as a result, you'll have fuller, better, healthier hair. Basically the best hair genetically you can have, you get from the products.
And it's so simple, because you pop the serum, like you put your eye cream on and like you put your serum on,
yes,
you're going to put your activator on your scalp every morning and every night when you brush your teeth. It also has the keratin in there and the wheat protein. So we're not only helping with the hair itself that's already grown, we are nurturing that scalp and promoting hair growth. Clinical studies, scientifically proven to grow 18% faster. Tell me about that clinical study.
So we've done a clinical study in the US, and it was a blinded, placebo-controlled, proper clinical study. And we actually published the results in a peer-reviewed paper as well. But what we found that amongst our participants, and that was some of a surprise actually, we found that there was about 18% increase in the rate of hair growth.
Wow.
So if you're a young woman planning for your wedding next year, that 12 months will give you an extra 18% hair length by the time your wedding comes.
And just think about all those hairstyles that you've maybe wanted to have but haven't been able to grow your hair to the right length. Maybe you get to a certain length and your hair does just look old because it's thin. You know, these are the kind of products that you can get home and start using and see the results. Scientifically proven. It's so exciting. I want you to give the time. Give the time to the product. This is your Promote 3-step system. It's going to Promote uses a breakthrough formulation to active botanicals to grow hair 80% faster. Wow, I can't believe I can say that. That is a scientific fact. Developed to promote hair growth and lengthening of the natural hair growth cycle. It's combined back with the barbot extract, nature's hair moisture miracle. If the FGF5 is the villain, Baboa is the angel, right?
That's right.
Promote nourishes the hair from root to tip. So we're not just lathering things over the end of our hair. We are using a beautiful shampoo and conditioner to cleanse and nourish the hair, but we are going to the root, no pun intended, of the problem, and we are dealing with the way that the hair is growing, the way that the hair is falling, the way that the hair is aging. Use your Afterpay. I haven't even mentioned that. You just want to grab this, get the free delivery. That comes, of course, standard, but use your Afterpay to be able to pay this down. We also have 10% off if this is your first purchase, and of course, a 30-day money-back guarantee. Maria, amazing. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see the results from all of us. Thank you to the guys. Thank you, Gab. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, Zach. Can't wait to see your before and afters.
I know.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you at home, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.